Hello, I'm Shadow Coast and welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll be discussing Cyberpunk 2077 and focusing on player attributes and associated skills. Before we dive in, I am actively trying to grow my YouTube channel, so if you do go on to enjoy this video, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and hitting the like button. Also, check out the description for helpful links to resources I reviewed before creating this video. Cyberpunk 2077 at its core is a role-playing game. As such, attributes can and will impact your experience in-game in a few ways. First, attributes will impact in-game dialogue and story options similar to what we expect from choosing a life path. Second, attributes raise associated skill level caps, which we'll cover in a bit. Finally, attributes impact passive effects. There are 5 main attributes or stats you can select from. You start off with what I believe are 7 attribute points you can assign. All attributes start at a minimum of 3, so you'll be able to do a fair amount of customization before the game even starts. Assigning these points will be critical for early gameplay, but fortunately you'll gain additional points to assign as you level up in-game. Let's begin with Body. Body focuses on raw physical power, and putting points in this stat will increase health, reduce bullets spread from weapons, boost overall melee damage, and increase your stamina pool. Intelligence impacts your intellect and memory, and putting points in this stat will reduce the difficulty of hacking and shorten program upload duration and increase your memory pool. Effectively, you'll be able to disable cameras or impact key cybernetic or electronics equipment quicker and more frequently with a higher stat. Memory also plays a crucial role in how often you can hack, but we'll save that for another video. Reflex is all about speed and coordination, and selecting this stat will increase your critical rate, attack speed, and evasiveness and make it harder for enemies to hit you. This attribute is a solid choice for those planning on using guns or blades. Technical impacts, well, your technical ability. This stat increases your chance of finding craftable loot and increases your armor. Honestly, this is a bit unclear to me, though I expect they've retooled this attribute given changes they made in game. I believe they had loftier goals for technical originally. Regardless, technical synergizes nicely with body if you're going for a super tanky build. Finally, we have cool, which is all about self-control and willpower. This stat impacts stealth, increasing the time it takes for NPCs to see you. It also boosts your critical damage and improves resistance to various debuffing effects. And that's a perfect example of the passive traits or impacts attributes can have, increasing the time for NPCs to see you when you're stealthing around. Now let's dive into a seemingly complicated skill and perk tree, which is more intuitive than you might originally think. For the purposes of this video, we're only going to talk about skills, as there are so many perks, and I'll probably post a video specific to that later. Looking at this image, we see our 5 core attributes or stats closest to our character. From there, we see they branch out into various skills. There are a total of 12 skills, each of which is dependent on a core attribute. I put together a little chart to depict this a bit easier. As you can see, technical impacts engineering, while intelligence impacts hacking, and the other attributes impact a variety of other skills. Switching back to the original image and looking, we can see that the core attribute or stat impacts the highest level you can go with any skill. Here we can see that body is level 4 and the associated skills will max out at level 4. This is important to track as each skill tree has associated perks and each of these perks can be leveled up. Now there are a large variety of perks that do amazing things. Due to the sheer number, we're not going to cover them in this video. That being said, it's important to review the perks and know your build. Some perks depend on other skills or perks, which means it's important to spend a little time thinking about your build like you would in any other RPG. Effectively, if you're going for that one awesome perk that's going to allow you to do that awesome thing you really want to do, it could be dependent on other perks or skills. So you're going to want to carefully assign those attribute points. Now that we've discussed a bit about attributes and skills, what are you thinking about focusing on? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Hope to see you in future videos, and thanks for watching. Shadow Coast out.